what pressed upon me was in both your video and in Curtis's video, you talked um, about relationship, and beloved disciple was something that stuck out to me. And I think in the Gospel of John, we see, the beloved disciple is never named specifically. The tradition says that it's John, but and I like to think that maybe we're looking in on this scene as God's beloved and as the beloved disciple. And I know in my own life, a lot of times in my life, I've had problems with feeling loved by God and being God's beloved.
So, what do you think makes it difficult for us to believe that we're really loved?
Well, I think it's not difficult to believe that I'm loved, but I think, just as Jim was saying, difficult to. It's certainly my tendency to look for a feeling, and I don't necessarily feel anything. And understanding that that's not what God's love is about. So to say that God is love, and that was in the videos, everyone says God's love, but that can so easily become empty. What does that mean? So what? But what the caveat for that is that this love isn't a feeling, as Curtis said. It can be tough love. It's God's protection. It's God's provision. And also, as Luke said, we have to be intentional about looking for it in our lives. If I just get on with my day and I never think about how is God loving me today, how is God showing up in my life, practicing some gratitude and really making an intention, like, where is this showing up in my life? And spending some time thinking about that. Maybe at the end of the day, maybe in the morning. That's where God's love show up. Nothing to do with a feeling. Even though still always having the tendency to think, well, where's God? I'm not feeling God. But I never find God there at the end of the day.
What else struck you in the videos?
I like what Jeffrey had to say about engaging with the text of John. Like there is, once you engage with that text, that there'll be this reaction with the Spirit, almost as if there is a conversation that has started in engaging this text. I would have to probably think about that a little bit more, but that for some reason that a light bulb went off as far as conversation, as God speaking. Maybe sometimes I need to quit all the talking that I do and spend some time listening. And sometimes it's hard to hear somebody say, I love you, when you don't. Maybe sometimes have issues with loving yourself and allowing that, allowing God to say, I love you just like you are. And so to open up the text and to receive God through the Gospel of John was resonated with me.
You were talking about the engaging with the text of John. Are there any passages in John that have been especially meaningful to you or formative to you as you've explored the Gospel of John?
For me, it's the parable of the true vine, and that we are the branches and He is the vine, and we cannot produce fruit on our own. Because for me, it's, asking God whether He cares. For me, it's the answer is always He better, or I'm in trouble, and forcing myself into a position of I have to trust God, I have to rely on God, because I have the experience of running on self-will, self-power, trying to do better, and be good, and achieve, and it's never gotten me where I wanted to go. And that's certainly why I trust God. If that got me where I wanted to go, I wouldn't be a Christian, I wouldn't go to God. Why go to God if you can handle it yourself?